Have you ever noticed that the more you try to hold on to money through fear, the faster it seems to slip through your fingers? Have you ever wondered whether a home can quietly train your mind toward scarcity or abundance without you realizing it? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to tell you a story about a house, a family, and a simple habit that looked harmless but slowly became a symbol of something much deeper. On the surface, this is about where people hide cash at home and why certain places can invite loss, waste, and a strange kind of financial bad luck. But underneath, this is really a story about karma, attention, and the way our environment becomes a silent teacher shaping our choices. Because here is the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. Poverty is not only about numbers. It is also about patterns. It is about nervous systems trained to panic, minds trained to grasp, and homes arranged in a way that keeps reminding the brain to stay on alert. And when the mind is always on alert, it makes decisions that quietly drain the future. The home then reflects those decisions back, and the cycle continues. The person in this story is named Leah. She was not reckless. She was not lazy. She was not someone who spent money like water. In fact, she was the opposite. She was careful. She tracked every expense. She saved receipts. She compared prices. She did the responsible thing. Yet somehow, every year ended with the same feeling, like she was running uphill with a backpack full of stones. She lived with her husband Mark and their little boy Ethan in a modest home that had good bones and a tired spirit. The kind of home that looks fine in daylight but feels crowded at night. Not with people, but with unfinished thoughts. Boxes in corners, drawers stuffed with old cables, closets filled with things no one used but no one wanted to let go of. Leah often said she wanted a fresh start, a clean slate. But every time she tried to clean, she got overwhelmed and quit halfway. She told herself she did not have time. Mark told her it was not a big deal. Ethan adapted the way kids do, stepping around clutter like it was normal. And so the house stayed the same, quietly shaping them. Then the money problems began to intensify. At first it was small. A surprise bill, a car repair, a medical copay. Then it grew. Mark had his hours cut at work. Leah had to cover more from her paycheck. They stopped going out. They stopped replacing worn-out items. They became the kind of family that said maybe next month for everything that felt joyful. Leah started doing something she had learned from her grandmother. She began keeping cash at home. Not a lot, just enough for emergencies. But she did not keep it in one place. She scattered it. She hid it in spots that felt clever, spots no thief would guess. She told herself it was safety. And this is where the lesson begins. Sometimes what we call safety is actually fear wearing a practical mask. Fear can look intelligent. Fear can look organized. Fear can look like preparedness. But if fear is the energy driving it, the karma is still fear. And fear always charges into rest. Leah hid money in 7 places. Over time, those 7 places became like 7 silent altars to scarcity. The first place was the kitchen. She taped an envelope under the sink. She told herself nobody would look there. Under the sink felt hidden and safe. But the kitchen is where you feed life. When you store money in a place associated with leaks, cleaning chemicals, and waste pipes, you are also training your mind to link money with anxiety. Every time she opened that cabinet to grab a sponge, her eyes flicked to the envelope. She did not consciously think anything, but her body did. Her body tightened slightly, as if money was always one step away from danger. Soon after, they had a leak. Not a dramatic flood, a slow leak. The kind that you ignore until the cabinet smells strange and the wood swells. The repair cost more than Leah had saved. And the worst part was psychological. Leah felt as if her secret stash had invited the leak. She did not say it out loud. She just felt it. The second place was the bathroom. She hid cash inside an old tissue box under the bathroom sink. She thought it was brilliant. Who would search there? But the bathroom is a place of release. It is where the body lets go of waste. When you hide money in a space associated with disposal and urgency, you subtly teach the mind that money is something you might lose at any moment. Again, not magic, conditioning. Then the boy got sick. Not dangerously sick, but sick enough to require medication and a doctor visit. Leah pulled money from the tissue box and felt a strange symbolic sting. She was pulling value from a place associated with wiping and throwing away. It made her feel like all money eventually becomes waste. She grew more anxious. She started hoarding harder. The third place was the bedroom. She kept an envelope beneath the mattress. Many people do. It feels old-fashioned and safe. The problem is not the mattress itself. The problem is the state of mind. The bed is where you rest, where the nervous system resets. But if you sleep over hidden cash, you may be sleeping over hidden worry. Leah began waking up at night and reaching under the mattress without thinking. She would touch the envelope and then try to fall back asleep. The gesture looked small, but it was a nightly ritual of fear. And fear as a ritual becomes karma as a lifestyle. Soon, Mark began having insomnia too. He did not know about the envelope, but he felt Leah shifting at night. He felt her tension. He started worrying about work, about bills, about the future. In a home, energy spreads even when words do not. The fourth place was the closet. She stuffed cash inside an old coat pocket. Closets hold what we do not want to face. They hold forgotten items and postponed decisions. When you hide money in a closet, you hide it inside avoidance. Leah began to associate money with hiding, not with circulating, not with growing, not with purposeful action. She avoided looking at bank statements because she hated the feeling. She avoided conversations with Mark because she did not want conflict. She avoided planning because planning made her confront uncertainty. Then one day she forgot the cash was in the coat. It was donation day at Ethan's school. They were collecting winter clothes. Leah grabbed the coat and tossed it in the donation bag without checking. She felt proud to give. For one moment, her heart felt open. Then 2 weeks later she remembered the envelope. She called the school. The coat was already gone. She cried on the kitchen floor. Mark found her and thought something terrible had happened. Leah could not even explain it without feeling foolish. She cried harder, because the pain was not only about the cash. It was about the feeling that money vanished from her life, no matter how tightly she tried to hold it. The fifth place was the laundry area. Leah rolled bills into a sock and tucked it behind detergent bottles. The laundry area is where you wash what is dirty. In one sense, that seems fine. But the laundry area is also where things get lost. Socks disappear. Items get ruined. Water and heat can damage paper. Leah was literally placing money into a zone of constant turnover and disappearance. Soon she washed the sock, not because she was careless, but because she was tired. She was multitasking. She had a million tiny worries. She forgot. The money went through the machine, half shredded, ink smeared. The bank replaced some of it after a long process. But again, the emotional message was stronger than the practical loss. Her mind concluded money gets destroyed in my hands. The belief hardened. The sixth place was the living room. She hid money inside a book on a shelf. A hollow space cut into pages. She had seen it online. It felt clever. And books symbolize knowledge. So she felt it was better than the sink or the bathroom. But the living room was where guests sat, where Ethan played, where Mark watched television. The hidden money became an invisible tension in a social space. Leah found herself scanning the room when people visited. She could not relax. She became protective. Her warmth diminished. The home became less welcoming. And that matters. Because abundance is not only money. Abundance is relationships. Abundance is support. Abundance is goodwill. When the home becomes guarded, people visit less. Opportunities shrink. Life narrows. Then one afternoon, Ethan found the book. He was playing a treasure game. He loved hiding things. He pulled the book down, heard the odd weight, opened it, and his eyes widened. He ran to Leah and shouted, "Mom, I found secret treasure." Leah grabbed the bills and felt her heart slam. She was not angry at Ethan. She was angry at herself. She saw how her fear had leaked into her child world. Now her child had learned that money is secret and hidden. That money is something you snatch quickly before someone sees. She saw the karmic transmission happening in real time. Not mystical, generational. The seventh place was the garage. Leah kept cash inside a small metal box behind tools. She thought this was the safest of all. But the garage is where you store what you do not actively use. It is where dust gathers. It is where old projects sleep. It is where you postpone. When money lies there, your mind also postpones wise action. You wait. You delay investing in skills. You delay repairing relationships. You delay addressing financial reality. You keep money frozen like a secret. Frozen money does not flow. Frozen money does not create value. Frozen money only creates the illusion of control. Then the garage door broke. The repairman came. Leah watched him work and felt paranoid. Was he looking at the toolbox area? Did he notice anything? She became tense and suspicious. Suspicion is expensive. It costs you peace. And when peace is gone, decisions get worse. After months of this, Leah reached a breaking point. It was not a dramatic explosion. It was a quiet moment on a Tuesday night when Ethan was asleep and Mark was staring at a spreadsheet on his laptop. Eyes dull. Leah looked around the living room. Toys in the corner. Unopened mail on the table. Dust on the shelf. The hidden book. The feeling of scarcity hanging in the air like stale smoke. She said to Mark, "I feel like our house is teaching us to be afraid." Mark looked up. He was tired. He said, "Houses do not teach. People teach." Leah surprised herself by speaking calmly. She said, "People and places shape each other. We hide money like we are hiding from life. And then life feels like it is hunting us." Mark wanted to argue, but something in Leah's voice had changed. It was not accusation. It was clarity. And clarity has a different weight. That weekend, Leah went back to the bookstore where she used to browse as a teenager. She wanted comfort. Instead, she found a small talk happening in the back room. A woman was speaking about magnificence, simplicity, and karmic patterns. Leah almost left, but she stayed. The speaker said something that struck Leah like a gentle slap. If you want abundance, start by removing the habits that worship scarcity. Leah felt heat in her eyes. She thought about the envelopes, the hiding spots, the nightly checking under the mattress. She realized she was worshiping scarcity without meaning to. Not with prayer, but with behavior. After the talk, Leah approached the speaker. The woman's name was Annika. Leah explained her situation, trying to keep it practical. Annika listened and nodded. Annika said, "Money is energy in motion. When you treat it like a frightened animal you must trap, it behaves like one. It bites. It escapes. When you treat it like a tool you respect and direct, it becomes useful. But the bigger issue is your mind. Your house is reflecting your mind." Leah asked, "What should I do? Tell me where to keep the cash." Annika smiled, not unkindly. She said, "You want a new hiding spot. But the karma is not in the spot. The karma is in hiding." Leah felt embarrassed. She said, "But there are thieves. There are emergencies. It is not just fear." Annika said, "Prudence is different from fear. Prudence is calm planning. Fear is frantic gripping. They feel different in the body. You already know which one is driving you." Leah did know. Annika suggested something simple. First, choose one secure method that is clear and legal and organized. A proper safe for a bank arrangement, not scattered secrecy. Second, clean the home gradually and consciously. Third, create a daily practice that reins the mind away from scarcity. A short mantra or phrase repeated with breath. Fourth, practice generosity in a sustainable way. not to perform kindness, to loosen the grip of fear. Leah went home with those words echoing. She did not become a new person overnight, but she began. She bought a small home, safe and anchored it properly. She told Mark everything. The lost coat, the washed sock, the book on the shelf. Mark was shocked at first, then sad. Not because of the money, because of how alone Leah had been in her fear. They sat at the kitchen table and talked honestly for the first time in a long time. Mark admitted he had been avoiding the conversation too. Avoidance recognizes itself in others. That night, they made a plan. It was not fancy, but it was real. Then Leah started cleaning. Not as punishment, not as a frantic weekend purge. She started with one drawer, one shelf, one corner. And while she cleaned, she noticed her mind. Every object triggered a thought. What if I need this later? What if I cannot replace it? What if letting go means I will be unsafe? She realized the house was full of what if thoughts in physical form. She began practicing a simple phrase with her breathing. A phrase that reminded her of wisdom and compassion. She would inhale and think, I am here. She would exhale and think, I release fear. She repeated it while folding laundry, while washing dishes, while sorting papers. She was not trying to become mystical. She was training attention, and something changed. Not immediately in the bank account, but in the atmosphere. When you clean a space, you are also cleaning decisions. When you reduce clutter, you reduce the number of micro-stresses that exhaust your willpower. When willpower returns, you make better choices. Better choices compound. That is karma as practicality. Leah also began practicing a small act of generosity each week. Not large donation. Something sustainable. A grocery bag for a neighbor who was struggling. A small tip for the exhausted delivery driver. A book for Ethan classroom. She did not do it to buy good luck. She did it to break the internal spell that said there is never enough. Because here is a secret that spiritual traditions have whispered for centuries. Scarcity thinking is sticky. It attaches to the mind. It makes you clutch. It makes you hard. Generosity is like warm water. It loosens what is stuck. Over time, Leah noticed that her fear reduced. She still cared about bills. She still planned, but her body did not feel hunted. She stopped checking the safe multiple times. She stopped scanning guests with suspicion. She stopped turning her home into a battlefield of secrecy. Mark began sleeping better too. They argued less. Ethan felt the difference. He laughed more. He played with less frantic energy. Kids absorb atmosphere like sponges. Then the practical changes arrived. Mark applied for a new position he had avoided because he feared rejection. He got an interview. During the interview, he spoke more confidently than before because his home life felt steadier. He got the job. The pay was slightly better. The benefits were better. It was not a miracle. It was a chain of cause and effect. Leah asked for a raise at work. She had been doing extra tasks for months. She had been too afraid to ask. She asked calmly. She got a modest increase. Not magic. Cause and effect. They began paying down debt more steadily. They stopped losing cash in ridiculous accidents. They stopped paying emergency fees caused by disorganization. They stopped duplicating purchases because they could not find things. Their home became more functional, and their finances became less chaotic. One evening, Leah sat alone in the living room and looked around. The shelf was dusted. The mail was sorted. The book did not hide anything. The air felt lighter. She realized she had been living in a home that constantly whispered danger. Now the home whispered clarity. She thought about those 7 money hiding spots and what they represented. Under the sink was the belief that money is always leaking away. The bathroom stash was the belief that money is linked to waste and shame. Under the mattress was the belief that rest must be guarded by anxiety. The closet pocket was the belief that hiding is safer than facing. The laundry sock was the belief that money disappears when you are not vigilant. The living room book was the belief that relationships are threats to resources. The garage box was the belief that postponement is protection. When Leah named these beliefs, they lost some power. Awareness is like turning on a light. Not every shadow disappears instantly, but you stop being ruled by what you cannot see. Now let me connect this to your life. You might be listening and thinking, I keep money at home too. Is that wrong? No. The moral is not that cash is evil. The moral is that your relationship with money shapes your karma. If your storage method trains you into constant fear, that fear will spill into everything else. If your method is calm, organized, and aligned with clarity, it will not poison your peace. There is also a deeper spiritual layer. Many teachings say that wealth and poverty are not only external conditions but also internal causes. Greed, deception, and harm create suffering. Honesty, right effort, and compassion create stability. This does not mean good people never struggle. Life has many conditions, but it does mean that your inner qualities influence how you move through struggle and what you build from it. If you want a practical takeaway from this story, here it is. Make your home a partner in wisdom, not a partner in panic. If you hide money in places associated with water damage and chaos, you increase the chances of loss and you increase the mental stress that leads to more loss. If you keep money scattered, you increase forgetfulness and suspicion. If you keep money in a single secure place and also keep your financial plan clear, your mind settles. When your mind settles, your decisions improve. When decisions improve, results improve. That is karma, not superstition. Momentum. I want to share something personal in the spirit of honesty. I have seen people who grew up in homes where money was always a secret. Bills hidden. Conversations avoided. Children told do not touch that. Those children became adults who either hoarded or rebel spent. Both were responses to the same imprint. The imprint was fear. I have also seen people heal that imprint by doing something simple. They began talking openly about money without shame. They created a clean place for paperwork. They paid attention to what their home felt like. They practiced a steady daily phrase that reminded them to act from wisdom instead of panic. Slowly, their whole financial life changed. Not because the universe finally liked them, but because they stopped sabotaging themselves through unconscious habits. So if you feel like your home has been attracting poverty, do not blame the walls. Do not curse your luck. Do not turn spirituality into paranoia. Instead, do the courageous thing. Observe your environment. Observe your mind. Ask what your habits are worshiping. Are you worshiping fear through secrecy? Are you worshiping control through hiding? Are you worshiping scarcity through clutter? Or are you practicing clarity through order? Are you practicing compassion through generosity? Are you practicing wisdom through mindful planning? One small shift can begin a chain reaction. You do not need perfection. You need direction. Before we close, I want you to imagine your home as a teacher. What lesson do you want it to teach your nervous system every day? Tension or trust? Panic or presence? Hoarding or harmony? If you want to try a simple practice tonight, do this. Choose one small area. A drawer, a shelf, a corner. Clean it slowly. As you clean, breathe. When fear thoughts come, label them gently as fear. Then return to the next object. You are not only cleaning a space, you are retraining karma. And if you keep emergency cash at home, keep it in one secure place with clear intent, not scattered as if you are preparing for disaster at every breath. Let your intent be calm. Let your plan be clear. Let your home feel safe again. Thank you for being here with me. If this story reminded you of something in your own life, share it in the comments. Have you ever lost money in a strange way because of where you stored it or how you lived? Have you ever felt your home affecting your mindset? Your story might be the exact mirror someone else needs. Closing words. May your home become a place of clarity. May your mind become a place of calm. May your choices become a place of wisdom. Remember to subscribe, Leave a like and support the channel by commenting and sharing, because these stories grow through community. And community is also a form of abundance.